Most AI agents act without a trail. They store only embeddings, not meaning, so context that cannot be explained and decisions that cannot be audited. In lending, that gap becomes a compliance exposure, not a convenience. An underwriting agent's approval has to survive a regulator's why. Months later, Semantica sits underneath your LLM, vector store, and agent framework as a deterministic infrastructure layer. No LLM is required for graph construction, reasoning, or provenance. Who it's for AI/ML platform teams shipping agents that make consequential decisions need structured, queryable context built from fragmented raw data instead of just a vector index. Data platform teams on Databricks or Snowflake that want to turn tables in Unity Catalog or a Snowflake warehouse into a governed, lineage-tracked knowledge graph without exporting to a third-party source. First, compliance, risk, and audit teams that need a straight answer to why did the AI do that, in a format a regulator will actually accept. Regulated enterprises, finance, healthcare, legal, government, defense, that cannot ship a black box or send data to another source to get one platform. And infra engineers who want the knowledge graph, reasoning, and provenance stack self-hosted and swappable, not locked to one vendor's backend. Data and knowledge engineers building a knowledge graph from messy, multi-source data. Entities and relationships are extracted, conflicting or contradictory facts are flagged instead of silently overwritten, and duplicates are merged before they turn into noise. What Semantica gives you: context graphs, a structured, queryable graph of everything your agent knows, decides, and reasons about. Decision intelligence: every decision becomes a traceable, searchable object, linked by precedent and causal path. AI governance and ontology, SHACL constraints, conflict detection, compliance rules, OWL generation, and a visual editor for SCOS vocabulary. Full auditability: every fact has W3C provo provenance, exportable as JSON, CSV, or RDF. Deterministic reasoning: forward chaining, READY, datalog, and SPARQL produce fully explainable paths, not black boxes. Knowledge pipeline: ingest from many sources, entity or chunking, NER in relation extraction, semantic deduplication, and provenance separate-serving merges. Enterprise data platforms: native connectors for Databricks and Snowflake let tables become graph nodes with provenance. No extra export-import. Graph analytics: centrality, community detection, link prediction, and shortest path queries across your graph. Polyglot graph storage: switch effortlessly between RDF stores like Oxygraph or BlauseGraph and labeled property graph stores like Neo4j or AWS Neptune, all without touching your code. Visualization and interactive browser workbench to explore any graph, ontology, or timeline. Drop-in integrations: native OGNO support, a full-featured MCP server, a CLI, a REST API, and plugins for major editors. How it works: 1. Ingest, pull from files, web, SQL, Databricks, Snowflake, cloud storage, streams, email, Git, or any other source. 2. Parse and normalize, convert documents into clean text, separate entities, dates, and numbers, and split into entity or chunks. 3. Extract, run NER, relation extraction, event detection, and generate triplets. 4. Detect conflicts and deduplicate, spot contradictory facts from different sources, flag them, and merge duplicates with semantic similarity. 5. Build knowledge graph, combine everything into a bitemporal graph where each node and edge carries provenance. 6. Apply reasoning, use forward chaining, READY, datalog, or SPARQL to infer new facts and create causal links between decisions. 7. Store and query, persist the graph in an RDF or label property graph store, and optionally keep a vector store for hybrid search. 8. Export and visualize, dump the graph to RDF, OWL, JSONLD, Parquet, Cipher, or give an interactive visualization. Decision intelligence and action: when an agent decides something, record decision, creates a graph node that includes category, scenario, reasoning, outcome, confidence, and metadata. Add causal relationship, links decisions to their causes and effects. Trace decision chain, walks back the causal ancestry. Find similar decisions, searches for precedent decisions using semantic similarity. Analyze decision impact, shows all downstream entities affected by that decision. Check decision rules, enforces policy compliance. The entire chain can be exported as a W3C Provo audit trail for regulators. Quick start: Python pip install Semantica from Semantica. Context import context graph. Graph equals context graph. Advanced analytics equals true. Record a decision ID equals graph record decision category equals vendor selection. Scenario equals choose cloud provider for HIPAA workload. Reasoning equals was offers BA, mature HIPAA tooling, and existing team expertise. Outcome equals selected as. Confidence equals 0.93. Query the intelligence chain equals graph trace decision chain decision add similar equals graph find similar decisions cloud vendor. Max results equals 5. Impact equals graph analyze decision impact decision IDE. Compliance equals graph check decision rules category. Vendor selection. Verify the installation in 5 seconds. Semantica Dr. Python 3, 1, 9 pass Semantica 0, 6, 0 pass vice vector store pass config file dot. Semantica config YAML pass. Architecture overview sources ingest parse normalize split extract conflict detection deduplication. Knowledge graph ontology reasoning provenance decisions enriched KG vector store plus polyglot graph store, RDF and LPG. Export visualize REST MCP CLI. Everything is modular and independently importable. Performance highlights on a 118,000 node production graph AMD EPYC, 64 GB RAM. Node search speed increased from 24 milliseconds to 0.004 milliseconds, a 6000x improvement. Semantic deduplication became 6.98x faster with blocking strategies. CLI commands pip install Semantica Semantica start dashboard Semantica doctor run health check Semantica help list all commands. Integrations native plugin bundles for Claude Code, Cursor, Codex, Windsurf, Klein, Continue, VS Code, and OpenClaw. A full-featured MCP server exposes tools, extract entities, extract relations, record decision, query decisions, get causal chain, run reasoning, among others. REST endpoints cover enrichment, graph querying, decision listings, provenance, ontology, embeddings, search, export, pipeline, temporal, and deduplication. Deployment and licensing install the core library with pip install Semantica. Add optional extras for LLM providers, vector stores, graph databases, and ingestion sources. For production, use Docker or Kubernetes. Keep the vector store hosted, Trend, Pinecone, and point to an on-prem RDF store or a commercial graph database like Neo4j or AWS Neptune. Target industries finance, loan underwriting, AML, healthcare, clinical decision support, legal, contract analysis, government and defense, policy records, law enforcement, evidence chain, cybersecurity, incident timeline, and autonomous systems, safety validation, community and support. Join the Discord for real-time help. Follow discussions on GitHub, view issues, and read the documentation at docs.jet semantica-agi. The cookbook contains runnable Jupyter notebooks for all major patterns. With Semantica you can build a fully auditable, self-hostable AI stack that satisfies regulators, protects data sovereignty, and lets your agents learn from structured, traceable knowledge rather than opaque embeddings.